Aries. Welcome to your July 2025 reading. My name is Nigel, and you have found Alchemy. Okay, I don't know if you listened to your summer 2025 reading, but if you did, or if you didn't, regardless, these cards were pre-pulled from that reading as promised. I gave you that summer overview. I told you I'd re-pull those cards and build a strong reading around the cards. So here we are. Here I am with that promise here, Aries. I'll go over this. I'll summarize this a little bit for you, so this way you're not completely lost in case you didn't listen to the reading. So let's go. Let's look at this here. There's no nice way to do this. So, okay, just put this here for now. You have pulled an alternative card in this deck. This is called the Temptation. It's an alternative card for the Devil. As you can see, it is very similar to the Rider-Waite's Devil. This card is Saturn. It's Saturnian Capricorn, just like it is in the Rider-Waite deck in most decks. So it's really no surprise here, Aries, that you have pulled the Temptation. I don't know what is going on with you lately, but there is some sort of passionate energy building. But you have here, this card assumes the identity of Modius. It is the demon associated with lust. High sexual appetites are indicated here, for sure. Okay. You do have the Nine of Pentacles, and you know the Nine of Pentacles is Venus in Virgo energy. I mean, that's beautiful energy in general, right? It is independent success. It's, you know, it looks like there's a couple of things going on this month. I'm kind of glad that it's not all about sex, but it definitely looks like the sexual energy is still there, but it also looks like there's some goal energy. There's some goal-oriented success, work, money, stuff like that. And that is an amazing card to pull, right? It is independent, long-term success. You also have the Three of Cups coming in very strongly in this reading. And we know the Three of Cups is Mercury and Cancer energy. But it could be a reunion with someone from the past. No matter whether this is a reunion or not, this is celebratory energy. Okay, so you're going to be celebrating. You're going to be happy. You're going to have this lust that's underlying pretty much everything. You do have the Hanged Man, and that is, we know this is Piscean energy. And you know, the Pisces energy, this could be sacrificial in nature. It could be like you're sacrificing one thing to have another. For sure. It could be a new perspective, something that you're looking at very differently with new eyes. It could be the sacrifice of time towards something. Yeah, I could see that. This is something sacrificial. I don't see it as a burden for you. I just see it as it just so happens to be the case. It's not anything negative. You do have here the release of something. And, you know, this is, you know, pretty much every reader's card of release. You have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Sun in Capricorn energy, releasing something, or perhaps releasing control. Perhaps you're releasing control, because even up here you have the release, the surrender. Definitely you're releasing something. Now, if I know Aries the way I think I do, you could be releasing control. You could be losing control. You could, in a positive way, in a hot way. You could just be that last semblance of control. You could have left your body. You could be giving that up. You do have the Judgment card here coming in sideways. This is Pluto energy. And, you know, Judgment. How's your judgment? How's your judgment in this situation? Your judgment could change day to day, right? Also, the Judgment card is a pull. It's a calling, right? You're being called. There could be something that has a magnetic pull over you here. You do have here, this is sort of sacrificial in nature too. You have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Now, we know this is not a loss of money, because there's something going on this month with money that's very positive for you. And I guess we'll get to that when we get down below here. But the Ace of Pentacles in reverse is a sacrifice of time, of money. Could be a favor you're doing for someone. Could very well be. Could be favor oriented. So we'll just keep all that under our hats. When we add all this up and we break it down, it is Mercury energy. Gemini, Virgo energy, yes, but it's communication, it's travel, it's very electronic, right? You could be texting with someone pretty heavily, calling someone on the phone, emailing them, traveling definitely to see them, or them traveling to see you. Okay, so let's move on with our actual July reading now. So you have Scorpio here. Interesting. We talked about that being Pluto energy. It says deep, intense, transformative for sure. Scorpio is definitely a hidden sort of sexual sign. This could be going on the quiet. This could be something that you don't share with many people. It does pay to mention that on July 10th, we have Juno that is going direct in Scorpio, right? Juno is an asteroid. And it's sort of like after when this starts, when it goes direct, I should say, before we had a feeling of the need to control, and that kind of makes sense here. Release of control. Although you may have been feeling a need to control something, this asteroid of commitment moves forward in intense Scorpio, losing control, seeking the truth about something, perhaps. You do have water. It says refreshing, mysterious, fluid. Scorpio, as we know, is a water sign. You could be all up in your feels this month, right? Yeah, I could see that because look, you even have Pluto over here. You have Scorpio / Pluto coming out over and over again in this reading. You have the planet Pluto. It's kind of interesting. So we know that Pluto rules Scorpio. And we know Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius in May, right? Stretches from May to October. So we're kind of like in the middle of it now in July. And Aries, particularly, will be prompted to examine their relationships, and not just their intimate relationships, their friendships, their work relationships, their relationships with family members. You are going to be examining the relationships around you and putting them in their proper place. You may be getting rid of certain relationships. You may be deepening certain relationships, but there's definitely change afoot. You also have Mars here, and this we know is your ruling planet. Action, Mars, Aries energy. We know that Mars is filled with passion, assertiveness, right? And Mars will be in Leo for most of July. And that will influence your 5th house, Aries, which governs romance and self-expression. So there is that Mercury energy, right? That self-expressive energy. You also have, in the Lenormand deck, you have both the ring and whips. Now, the ring signifies a relationship, right? A commitment of some kind. It doesn't have to be a marriage per se, but it's a commitment to someone on some level, right? It could be an emotional commitment. It could be a commitment just to see this person more, right? It could be a new cycle beginning. But you also have whips, and whips could mean a lot of things. But in this, coupled with the ring, coupled with a lot of the cards in this reading, I think that it is intensity, it's passion. It's definitely with that Mars energy that we talked about over here. So you have this passion coming in. You have this relationship. It's either coming in or it's here. And if you're in a relationship that you're very happy with, expect it to sort of crank up a little bit. You may level up your commitment with this person. You may fall into more passionate, more passionate days and nights with this person. Definitely something is ramping up here, Aries. Now on this side you have, I forgot to tell you, this is the second reading I'm doing in the series. And down here, I'm using these fairy cards that I haven't used in a very long time. So to sort of celebrate that, I did pour some of this dirt. And this dirt is interesting. I got it in Ireland in 2014. And I scooped it up under a fairy tree. The locals call it a fairy tree. Supposedly, legend has it that if you tie a ribbon onto the fairy tree, the fairies will grant your wish. And interestingly enough, I did tie a ribbon on the tree, and the fairies did grant my wish. And I did pull some dirt. I bought this Guinness thing in Ireland, and I filled it with dirt, and I brought it back. So I poured some of the dirt here to sort of celebrate the fairy energy that will be going on in this reading. So I apologize for not bringing that up sooner. But you do have the breath card here at number 27, life, breath. Something or someone can take your breath away here this month. I do see it that way. You also have the portal card, and it says doors are opening. You decide. They're rewards. This is the wild card. Do you walk through that door? I do believe there are more than one thing happening. It's not just about sex. It's not just about romance. It's about there's some sort of career thing going on here. There's goal being met. It looks like it's definitely money oriented. So it's very positive. A portal is opening for you personally. Now, these are the cards that come out when someone around you is thinking something and may not have shared it with you, at least as of yet. And these are positive cards. They're not always positive, but you do have collaboration. It says, let's work together to achieve shared success. So you may be partnering up with someone. You may be making money with someone. There's definitely money here on the table. And then the other card says empathy. It says, I will provide emotional support and always try to understand you. And, that might be the other part of your month. Remember, I said two things were happening. So definitely positive over positive for sure. You do have money manager. And it says this card could indicate your career or finances could take a giant leap forward. For sure. I mean, we talked about that in your summer reading, and it definitely is indicative here as well. You have, let's see if I could pronounce this correctly, okay? Yggdrasil. And this is embarking on a new quest. It's sort of like that portal that is opening for you. You're definitely embarking on something new. And what's interesting here is you pulled the Witch's Ruin, 3 rings, right? Aligning your energy towards another person. But what's interesting here is there are two, like you would be the ring in the middle, and there are 2 things attaching to you. Do you have 2 relationships going on at the same time? Could be, but it also could be those 2 commitments, work and that other thing, that love/passion thing that's going on. That makes a lot of sense as well. Here are your letters. These letters could be someone's initials. It also could be you're a company that you have a meeting with. It could be a building. It could be an airport. It could be a street. Keep a very open mind. Write them down. And you'll see one of them or all of them will mean something to you by the end of the month. You have N, Z, S, N, N, and G. I believe that's a G. Okay. Yes. So you have N, Z, S, and G. Okay, keep that under your hat here for sure. Okay, Aries. You know what? Hold on one second. I'm just going to take my sweatshirt off. Okay. Oof, that feels much better. It's really warm in here. Okay, so let's go. You have, these are your 3 legs. These 3 legs can come in order or out of order, as I always say before each reading. So leg 1 could actually fall into leg 3 because we know tarot is not a science, right? But these are the 3 energies like rolling towards you here. You do have renewal and spark, and that really doesn't surprise me with all the passion that you have rolling around here in your readings the last few months. Now, these cards we do not, or at least I do not read in reverse. So that's why if you watched me shuffle, I did not take any of them in reverse. You do have the 4 of summer. It says, being distracted and failing to see a magical opportunity, taking someone or something for granted, right? So there could be something going on here. This is a card of Cancer, by the way. Now, this fairy. If you look at this fairy, she's in a sort of prayer-like pose. She's worried about like what she has lost. And we know that this card, right? We've seen it in the Rider-Waite deck, but they put a little bit of a different spin on it. It says, but like what it says on the card and what it means to you might be very different. So that's why I'm speaking on it a little bit. She's not, by doing this, by worrying about what she could lose or what she has lost, she sort of is missing an opportunity, right? And so you're being asked to give your full attention to the things around you and not just your worries, right? It may be exactly as described here, or perhaps you're missing something important as you look at a situation. So you're being asked to look at the whole thing. Don't jump to conclusions, I guess. You have the Princess of Winter, right? Beautiful card, beautiful card. This is a card of Gemini. Now, when we look at this card, it is this is someone who may speak out without thinking. It could be you, and this could be just something that happens this particular leg of your month. It could be someone else. Sometimes when people talk with it and speak out without thinking, sometimes harsh words come out, right? Or it could be somebody unpredictable in your environment, somebody that has assertiveness, right? Or perhaps there is you need some clear communication with this person. If this is you, you could be, your mouth could be running a lot quicker than your brain. And I think you need to take time to breathe and really think before you speak and make sure you mean it. I'm not saying not to be assertive. I'm not saying not to speak your mind, but just make sure you mean what you're about to say. Okay. You do have the moon here, and this is more Cancer energy. The universe, and with this card in this particular deck here, the universe is sending you a message, right? And it's going to tell you what the perfect next step is. And you will receive it, right? You could receive it via dreams, your intuition, your gut feeling. You could start to see synchronicities, symbols. Something or someone around you can be misread if you go on logic alone. Okay, so definitely these two cards sort of meld together. Really pay attention. You are going to be receiving a renewal and a spark, but you're also going to be gifted with something, but you don't want to miss the gift by looking at something else, by looking at, well, what if this happens? I don't know. It's something like that here. When we add this up and we break it down, it's really not surprising that we get Neptune energy, right? That Piscean energy, illusion, confusion. This could be a confusing leg for you. Here you have your second leg, you have reflection and projection. Let's look. So you have strength, and it's fascinating. In this deck, it is number 11. And you could see Leo clearly on the card, right? Your fellow fire sign. So you see this, and it says, all right, it says the power of kindness and forgiveness, a time to embrace how wonderful you are. I'm very slow to read the things on the cards. I really would like to interpret them myself. I think it's better that way. You have this beautiful fairy, and she's sitting with a lion and a lamb, right? And it symbolizes the strength and gentleness, and there's also strength in assertiveness. And definitely stand up and say no when you need to say no. But also have empathy for the other party when it's necessary as well. Strength is both. Strength isn't just one thing. It isn't just being the lion, it's also being the lamb when it's appropriate. Okay, so you need to learn a balance there. I like that. I like that in this deck. That's a nice little symbol you have here. And this is your center card. And, as you know, your center card is very meaningful. You have the Ace of Summer. It says, open your heart to love. The beginning of a new intimate relationship, or the rebirth of a current one, the awakening of psychic abilities, for sure. It is the Ace of Summer. And it is this is your center card. It definitely goes with everything we've been saying about some sort of relationship. It is a very rewarding and happy relationship. It's either beginning, or it's ready to begin, or if you're in one already, it's ready to level up. Definitely. It's a message of love. Another example of what this could mean is finding a new home. If that's where you fit into this, you may be searching for a new home. This is acquiring it, right? There is something here about projection and reflection, but let's look at the last card. You do have the Princess of Summer coming in sideways, right? And this is a gentle and sensitive soul that you may be dealing with here, right? This person will be very receptive. This could also represent social invitations, love letters, beautiful texts that you get, confidential information, a special new friend. Definitely. But it's coming in sideways, and you're wondering how to take it. I think part of you is wondering if it's real. Part of you was wondering if it's healthy for you. Part of you is wondering, what should I decide about this? And maybe that's why the reflection is cracked, right? What are you projecting onto this situation that might not be there? Aries, you might be a little paranoid in this situation. I don't know that I wouldn't be either, looking at all this. Now, here on your last leg, and this, like I said, this could come first. It says truth and expression, and I like that. So let's look at all of them here. You have the Two of Autumn coming in first. Now, the Two of Autumn is definitely Capricorn energy. And you have this, yeah, this is the leg. This is the leg that we're talking about your goals and your success and your money, okay? You have the amazing ability to multitask, tackle many tasks at once. And because of that ability, you have lined up many rewards that you may or may not be aware of right now. You're accomplishing more than you have dreamed of. You will be. You're lining it up right now, whether you realize it or not. Your career is going to take flight. The next card up here is, oh, well, this one comes next, the Nine of Summer. The Nine of Summer, right? This is pure Piscean energy. And it is wishes. I mean, it's the wish card. It's the Nine of Cups, It is the wish card. It's wish. There is some kind of financial thing is going to happen for you that you're going to be very happy with. It's abundance, it's prosperity, it is good fortune. And to drive it home, you have the King of Autumn coming in, and this is pure Taurus energy. But more than that, this archetype has the Midas touch, right? Any entrepreneurial endeavors are very positive. He's charming. He loves to be of service, to help people. You don't want to get on his bad side, but if you're on his good side and you're in his good graces, he'll do anything to help a friend or someone that he cares about. He works very hard. The grapes in this picture represent abundance, and the German Shepherd. I don't know if you can see this. He does have a German Shepherd like right next to him. The German Shepherd reflects his ability to safeguard everything that he creates, everything that he cares about, but especially the things that he creates. A thriving career. Definitely going to be able to express some truth here. I really like that for you. When we add this up and we break it down, we get that cardinal number 11, which I love for cardinal signs like yourself, right? It is the creators, the manifestors, the bridges. Love that for you here. Now let's look at your challenges. It's interesting. You do have Pluto energy here again. Transformation, Scorpion energy. Wow. For an Aries reading, that's interesting. Pluto, Scorpion energy, ruling your challenges. That transformative energy, Pluto tends to harshly do away with the things that are no longer serving us and pull in the things that will. So let's look. And we did talk about that Pluto retrograde that might be affecting you here, Aries. So you do have, with your first card here is the Ten of Wands. And, the Ten of Wands is Saturn and Sagittarius energy, but it's different from this side, right? This would just be stress and work and, you know, you don't even know if it's helping. You don't even know if you're going to be successful. You just know that you're under all this stress. But on this, he's headed towards a village. So the stress that you're under, or that you may have been under so far, is going to pay off. I mean, it is. So it's stress for a reason. Work for the success that you are attaining. You do have here the Two of Swords on this side, and this is Venus in Libra energy. And this is mental discipline, right? So you may find it challenging this month to go through this Pluto energy, this change, and this transformative energy, this death and rebirth energy, right? That Scorpio is so famous for. You might find it challenging to go through the stress you're going to need to go through to attain the success, but it's going to be worth it, right? You do have this, and I really like this card for you. It's mental discipline, because on this side, it's not so much, right? This person has calmed the sea and is now open and intuitive, and whatever's going on in their outer world, they're not letting it affect their inner world. And I like that for you, especially for an Aries. It's a very difficult energy for an Aries. And you have the Sword of Truth, air, pure air energy, clarity, new ideas, success, vision. You see that crown? That crown screams Emperor energy, right? To having dominion over something. Definitely. Now, even though these are all positive cards, for the most part, they are positive cards, all of them. It's challenging. It's going to be challenging for at least part of this month for you here. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Uranus energy, change, right? Definitely. And that makes so much sense here, Aries. The unexpected change, pushing against limits, forging ahead, though. Love that. Now, looking at your opportunities, you have creation, intentions. I like that. So what are you creating here? You're creating something, and it is an opportunity to create something. You have, wow, you have the Two of Wands on this side. And this is Mars and Aries energy, right? And this side sort of incorporates your spirit or higher self. And you're starting to think of the why, not just of the what, right? It's a little bit different from this side. This is a deeper side. So you're acquiring some depth for sure. You're creating something. You're definitely releasing control in some way, but I think in that release, you're acquiring some bizarre control as well. It's really weird. You do have here the Hanged Man yet again, right? Piscean energy. And in this deck, this card in this deck indicates your readiness to undertake an important soul work. Yeah, there are three things going on this month. You have soul work that is going on behind the scenes. I don't think you're consciously doing it, but it's happening. And then you have this passionate thing that's going on between you and someone else. And then you also have this surge of vitality in your career. Something is definitely, especially on this leg, like we talked about, it's amazing. It's really good energy. So it looks like a really good month, but Pluto is coming up over and over again for you. So definitely pay attention to that. And, true to your energy here, you have the Knight of Wands. And yes, this is Jupiter in Sagittarius, but it is fire energy. And if you look at the difference, this is quite different from this, isn't it? These two, right? He's riding a unicorn on the side. And these two are heading into the storm, heading into the lightning. You know why? Because they can, because they find it exciting. This is someone who enjoys fire, excitement, maybe even a dash of danger. This person may not feel alive without experiencing that once in a while. Dare I say it might be you, Aries? But this is in your opportunity. So it's not a bad card. It's not a warning. It is just something that's going to be happening to you this month. You're going to have that excitement, that vitality, that wonderful energy that Aries is just so prevalent in your sign. All right. Beautiful energy as always, Aries. Let's do your closing card for Aries, please. Oh, there you go. Perfect. You have the Uncreated. Wow. Check that out. I don't know if I've ever pulled the card for you before, but it is an interesting card. It is the seed of the seed. It is the pre-seed, right? It's sort of like it's about timing. The timing is precise for this. It's happening now. This is an indication not to delay. Send the invitation to the uncreated, right? Allow it to formulate and gestate. You're going to be receiving messages. We talked about this in other parts of your reading. Envision and believe this, because your ground right now in July is extremely fertile. It's actually fertile for pretty much anything. There is something that is going to have very long-term value here in your life. Something is being created. And you are in the pre-creation stage. Even though some things are happening, like you're getting somewhere in your career, you're getting some rewards there, you're obviously having this passionate situation going on in your love life, all that stuff is happening, but there is something bigger that is being created here. So definitely take note. I really think that this is going to be an important year for you, the rest of 2025. Let's look at your numbers. Now we add all the numbers up in your reading, we break them down, we get the number 4, which really doesn't surprise me. It's Aquarius energy, Uranus, unexpected change. I think what's about to happen to you is unexpected. Even though you're expecting certain things that you've worked for, there is something underneath it that is yet uncreated that you're not expecting that's going to come out of this. The number that we spoke of the most is number 9, which is your number. It is Mars, Aries energy, right? It is that assertive Emperor energy that we like so much. The planet that we spoke on the most shouldn't surprise you. It is Pluto, right? It is death and rebirth energy. As far as signs go, you had 3 signs that came out neck and neck. One was Scorpio, which really shouldn't surprise you. That's Pluto energy, right? One is Cancer, and that is the moon energy. That came out just as much, right? It is that female, it is that divinely feminine, that it's intuitive. is what it is. It's that intuition that we spoke on. And also Pisces energy came out, that Neptunian, that you might find parts of this month a little confusing, but that's okay. It really is. Now, the signs we talked about in general were Aquarius, and these might mean something to you: Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, Taurus, Sagittarius, Leo, Pisces, Cancer, Virgo, Capricorn, Aries, and Scorpio. Okay, I wish you nothing but the best. I will see you next time. Don't forget to give your birthday reading a listen. It's 3 blessings that are coming to you between 2025 and 2026. I will see you next time, Aries. Namaste.